Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Riiv to receive the top 10 stocks to buy right now. You probably know Spotify as a leader in streaming music, but this is a company that has moved into podcasts and audiobooks and is now trying to be the place where we discover things to listen to and for artists and creators to connect with their users. For investors, that could be the best place to be and allow this to be a much more profitable company than it is today. So I wanted to dig into some of these changes and exactly what it means for the company long term. My name is Travis Hoium. Thank you for watching Riiv Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube to get all my coverage and turn on notifications so you know when I put new content out. Spotify recently had an event in Los Angeles and it announced some really interesting features, that some of which have been public and some of which will be coming out in the next couple of months. But a lot of them really get into people finding or discovering content in a much easier and more efficient way. I'll start with music. They're basically creating pages for creators to be able to put more information on a Spotify page than they've been able to before. So a little bit like a social media page where people can come and connect with those creators. Ironically, this is a little bit like what MySpace became in its later days when it was a very popular music creator social network. This also ties into their discovery tools that they've had that have basically become advertising. So instead of people just looking for the music that they want to find, you can go to Spotify and discover genres of music or other ways of looking for music, and now even AI-powered music. But one of the things that's going to drive what shows up is who pays to be there. So artists can pay to show up in a playlist, a little bit like the way that Google operates, right? Like you do a search on Google and it doesn't just pop up the best search terms, it pops up sponsored terms. And that's actually what you see first. So that's one thing that Spotify has moved into, is giving a way for creators to actually boost themselves in people's feeds. They're doing this on the music side. It looks like they're going to be doing this on the podcast side. And those pages are kind of like landing pages for people to find out, is this somebody that I actually want to explore further? So I think that's a really interesting way to both boost creators and then also give Spotify a potential added revenue source. An AI DJ was also announced, although that's been out for a little while. And that's basically just an artificial intelligence DJ that will talk about the next song in your custom-made Spotify playlist. So a really interesting use case for artificial intelligence in the music industry. We'll see where they take that in the future, but I think that's a really interesting use case for AI. And another potential revenue source is Spotify is getting into helping creators sell things like merchandise and tickets. So if you're not aware, in the music business, selling music has actually never been the way that artists make most of their money. There's a lot of complaints about how little Spotify pays creators, but revenue to music studios has actually gone up since Spotify was launched. So the problem isn't the money going to creators. That's always been very, very low. Where they make their money is on tickets and in touring. So now Spotify can help people find tour dates for people that they're interested in. Remember, they know what you're listening to, so you can find all that information in one place. That's a really interesting use case and potentially a way to both help creators expand that pie and then increase revenue for Spotify. I think the theme here for Spotify is they're leaning into the fact that they're a discovery company. Yes, they're providing content and streaming that to users, but their real value in the middle of that is helping users find the creators that they want to listen to, whether that's music or podcasts or audiobooks, which is something they're expanding into as well. And that ultimately will be where they're going to be able to create value. They'll be able to monetize that through premium services or selling podcasts or books, or even through advertising. If they can add monetization, like creators paying to get a little bit of a boost in their audience, or monetizing merchandise or tickets, that's a really good way for them to expand the business. What I like generally here is that Spotify is leaning into what it is as a company and where it adds value to the value chain. That should be good for both the company and investors long term. Remember, this is a company that's generating positive free cash flow, even though it's not generating a negative net income. It's because they do have stock-based compensation that is a non-cash cost. And for only about a $24 billion market cap, I think there's a lot of potential for Spotify to grow. This is one of my favorite companies out there because I think the future is much, much brighter than it has been in just the last few years. Profitability should continue to improve, and they made some cost cuts in just the last few months that should start impacting the income statement in the next quarter or two. So I like what Spotify is doing, and I like what we're getting from an investment standpoint. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Spotify stock? Leave your comments in the comments section below. Follow Riiv Investing here on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'll see you here next time.